I have a terrible memory. The farthest back I can remember is when I was about 5 or 6. Anything before that is pretty much just a fog. But what I do remember most vividly around this time is my Nintendo Game Boy. If you've seen my Animal Crossing video, you know that my parents were split up, and so I was often driven to and from their houses, sometimes up to a 2-hour drive. This was the perfect time to get some handheld gaming in on my Game Boy. In fact, the very first games I can remember playing are on Game Boy. Tetris, Paperboy, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, that funny Game Boy camera thing. But there is one game on Game Boy that I played a ton of and have an immediate nostalgic connection to. Hold on, wait a second. Game Boy? It's 2 words? Game and boy? Not one word of the 2 conjoined? But Paperboy. GameCube. It's not a Game Boy, it's a Game Boy? Oh no. The last 20 some odd years of my life have been a lie. A lie! Okay, where was I? Ah yes, my number 1 Game Boy game. Kirby's Dreamland. Oh, wait, hold on, let me check something. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, Kirby's Dreamland was and is one of my favorite games. Why? Well, it's just so damn charming. I mean, just listen to the synopsis from the manual. Kirby to the rescue. On a tiny star somewhere far, far away from Earth, there is a very special place known as Dreamland. The Dreamlanders are very happy people who use their magical sparkling stars to play and work among the heavens. That is, until one dark night when the gluttonous King Dedede and his rotten band of thieves swooped down from neighboring Mount Dedede for a midnight snack in Dreamland. Not only did they steal all of their food, but they stole the Dreamlanders' treasured sparkling stars as well. Because the Dreamlanders didn't have the sparkling stars to gather food anymore, they began to get very hungry. Suddenly, a spry little boy named Kirby happened along and said, "Don't worry, I'll get your food and your sparkling stars back." With these words, Kirby set off in his quest toward the dreaded Mount Dedede. We wish him luck. Before you even press start, there's one thing that's going to pop out at you: the music. Kirby's Dreamland has one of the best Game Boy soundtracks of all time. In my opinion, the soundtrack is up there with the Pokemon games. Well, maybe not the Pokemon trading card game. Man, that game has jam after jam after... Sorry, lots of distractions today. Kirby is a fairly basic platformer. Go left to right, get to the goal, and beat bosses. Kirby is now known for his ability to eat foes and take their powers, but that ability wouldn't actually exist until Kirby's second outing, Kirby's Adventure for the NES. In this game, instead, Kirby eats enemies and then spits them out as a projectile, which can and will handily take care of most any foe, and sometimes you'll find a power-up to make dispatching foes even more fun. Kirby can jump and even fly over obstacles indefinitely if you want. Each level is thematically very different from each other, and each features its own little intro cutscene. It's very charming. You've got a grassy, forested area, a spooky castle complete with ghosts and bats, a tropical island getaway, bubbly clouds, and of course the final frontier, Mount Dedede. Each level has a mid-boss and is finished with a unique boss fight, even including a shmup-style boss. No stage is like the last, and the variety of each stage is very refreshing to say the least. The gameplay is fun, it's full of fun and weird characters, great music, interesting level design, moveset, and the concept of eating and then spitting an enemy up is... well, it's a bit gross, but come on, it's kinda hilarious. If you've ever played Kirby's Dreamland for yourself, you might notice something though. It's actually really easy, and really short. You can beat the entirety of Kirby's Dreamland in under a half hour, hell, maybe closer to 20 minutes. Interestingly, the Kirby franchise was one of the first Nintendo franchises designed to be deliberately easy. The gaming landscape of 1992 wasn't exactly beginner-friendly. Kirby's Dreamland was the result of an internal request at Nintendo to design a game to be easier for those unfamiliar with platformers or games in general. A game anyone could enjoy. This resulted in a simple and easy game, yes, but it's far from boring. And hell, once you beat the game, you can unlock Extra Mode, which effectively halves the amount of hits Kirby can take, makes the enemies faster, more unpredictable, and apparently into BDSM. You know Kirby, everybody knows Kirby, but did you know that Kirby's sprite was actually originally a placeholder? Sakurai ended up getting so attached to this little placeholder that just became Kirby's sprite. And it was eventually agreed upon that a simple design would have a wider appeal. Speaking of Kirby's design, Shigeru Miyamoto and Masahiro Sakurai had a bit of an argument over whether Kirby should be pink or yellow. And that's why whoever was in charge of the North American box art said screw it and left him white. After all, it's not like you could be colored in an original Game Boy anyway. The team always wanted Kirby to have a way to use enemies as a tool to defeat other enemies, and originally, the concept was to have Kirby kick and headbutt enemies like a soccer ball, which would eventually be changed to the inhale mechanic we all know and love. In a lot of platformers, including Kirby, falling into a hole means instant death, even if you have life to spare. Sakurai found this to be frustrating and off-putting to the more casual gaming audience, and came up with the idea that if you fell into a pit, you could expand into a balloon and float out. The team actually liked this idea so much, it became one of Kirby's staple moves. I remember being 5 or 6 and being driven to my mom's house in '98 playing Kirby's Dreamland as my dad listened to Up, the new album by R.E.M. I remember I always got to Krako, the eyeball cloud enemy, as we reached track 4, Hope, and that song has been dubbed for me ever since the eyeball cloud song. I have a lot of nostalgic connection to this game. Kirby's Dreamland is by no means the best Kirby game in the franchise, but it is an important game in video game history. Kirby has become an icon and has spawned a highly successful franchise full of really good games. I think you owe it to yourself, though, to kick back and enjoy a relaxing romp through Kirby's Dreamland. After all, it's a game you should be playing. I'd like to take a moment to thank my one and only Patreon supporter, Harvest Time. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me, and keeps me motivated to keep putting out quality content. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can find the link in the description of this video. There you can listen to me sing your praises, and even score some exclusive Cyberphile merchandise. Hey, thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberphile content, and if you like this video, show me with that little thumbs up button. If you liked this video, you might like one of my other videos. You can click right on the boxes to jump to them. Cyberphile, offline.